Hello and welcome to SBR's Bet Battle. I've got Lee Phelps on the line here, William Hill's in-play radio host. We've just finished battling Saturday's Big Three. Now we're moving on to Sunday's Big Three. And we start with an interesting match here, the PrimeiraLeague, Benfica versus Porto. Obviously, it's a battle of number one and number two. Great odds on the winners market, I have to say. Lee, do you follow the PrimeiraLeague?
Not that closely. I don't think the Portuguese football's that strong, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the top three teams are decent, but other than that, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think we saw that this week when Bayern Munich destroyed them 6-1. I mean, 5-0 in the first half. Admittedly, they played, obviously they did well to get the result in Portugal. But so I don't follow it that closely. But you tend to look out for the big results, don't you? And there's one guy who I've noted recently, and when I saw this game was on our list, I couldn't resist but putting him in the bet. And it's a Brazilian chap who's 31, a forward called Gonçalves Oliveira Jonas. He scored 16 goals in 22 games this season, which is decent. Came from Valencia, but let me tell you what he's been doing recently. In the last games, he scored twice in each of them. He scored 2 against Nacional, 2 against Académico, and 2 against Valencias. He's actually scored. He had 1 game against Rio Ave where he didn't score. He scored in the 4 games previous to that, scoring 2 against Estoril. So he's actually scored. He's scored 12 goals in his last 10 games. So my bet obviously centres around him.
I can feel it coming.
Like the Benfica win, Benfica to win, and Jonas to score at 3.5.
Oh, very nice. Okay,
I like the Benfica win.
Yeah,
great home form.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't follow it too much. So knowing, goal scorers, things like, obviously I know Benfica, I know Porto, and I'm just going for the straight Benfica win. I think even just, bearing in mind, obviously Porto do come from that Champions League exit there, playing Bayern Munich, which I think no one really saw. I think, I think it's sort of 4 times that Bayern Munich have been at a point where they've had to overturn a 2-leg deficit and they haven't been able to do it. So when I was previewing this with Alex from Boom Betting Agency, he was going for the Bayern win, but he was actually, he said off record, he said he was going to go for Porto to qualify. And then when I spoke to Bernardo, another sort of tipster from the Owl Tips, he's from Portugal, and he said the whole of Portugal, I think, was like so upset, and they had even a bit of a hangover the next day. They all drunk their sorrows, but I think that they're going to be very deflated from that. And then also when you compare their sort of home wins to on the road, obviously Benfica's home wins is 13, 0 losses at home. Porto on the road is 9 wins and 1 loss. So I think we are looking at a Benfica win, and they are the favourites there, 2.4 bet 365. But you might have the slight edge on me because you know the score, goal scorers.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it may be that I've been kind of blinded by him a little bit, because my first thought was him, but my other thought was, well, it's a home win, so I might have got greedy there. So I think yours is, anyone who's watching, I will concede that yours is the safer bet. But there you go.
Yours is the more riskier bet. But bearing in mind, I am the champion from last week, so if anybody wanted a reason to follow, you were the champion from the week before, then it was me the week before that.
I feel like I've got to win the belt back.
Yeah, you do. It's firmly on my corner at the moment.
I've got to knock you out.
All right, Lisa, you're going for the Benfica win. You've added a goal scorer on there, and I'm just going to go for
3.5.
All right, fantastic. Listen, I'll see you over. We're now going to preview Arsenal versus Chelsea. Very exciting. Tough one to predict, though.
See you soon.